Well, first of all, what was the main weapon of the enemy, as you call them? It was actually infiltrating the very minds of the survivors and turning them into parasitic entities. And it seems it worked pretty well. The proof, just to look around. I think it's extremely limiting to categorize the enemy as being primarily nuclear. Yes, they do organize the human society so that we nuke ourselves each other while they enjoy while watching this from the top. But as far as any direct weapons deployed direct by them, I don't know what they could have been. For example, in Sodom and Gomorrah we see sulfur balls. Then in the Uzbekistan fortresses we saw the traces of something that could have been unimaginably powerful thunderbolts that made those fulgurites. And yet on many other megaliths we see round formations as if they are wounded from something. What were they showered with? God knows. But the demolition attacks of this sort, I see them as a very small portion of the full plan. And if I have to categorize their method of war with one word, I wouldn't at all use nuclear. I would say black magic. Because that term would encompass both their psychological warfare and also all the advanced technology of which most probably we have no clue. So yeah, I think the black magic term is the best one. And now the core question, how could have such an advanced beings get degraded to a level which is basically us? Well, for the reason of perpetuating this theater of war between good and evil. I strongly maintain opinion of the old Vedic scriptures and also of all the prophets that I respect, all the true channels, who all say that evil is not bad, it's just a teacher. All this theater of this conflict between the light and dark forces currently on Earth is not because something in the universe has gotten out of control. Actually, the universe was originally created as a stage where such conflicts could be played out for educational purpose. So here is an example from my own personal life that is very easy to understand. I suffered from a very severe physical pain for a number of years, just every day, unbearable. It was very bad, absolutely nothing was helping, and I always felt as if I'm cornered in some sort of a dead end and there is no exit, but I simply was not aware what is the exit. And it wasn't until Mother Ayahuasca, the divine great spirit of the Amazon, literally caught me by hand and showed me so that I can see with my own eyes how subtle misconceptions in my own psyche, my own belief system, actually make me vulnerable and open to all kinds of unpleasant situations like this. And then I understood what's actually going on. I corrected those misconceptions and certain traits of my personality changed as a result of the changes in the belief system, and finally I could reduce the pain. So in the same way, as long as humanity continues to view himself as an innocent victim of some sort of an advanced extraterrestrial civilization that can poison them by sprinkling poisons and things in the food and medicines and all that, and we are just powerless, until we adopt this attitude, nothing can help us. But once we collectively start expressing more interest in actual education, and for example, my channel is an attempt to do something about it in the area of history, we need to correct many things like this, not only our idea of history. This is just actually a minor part of all the corrections that we need to do. Once we correct that, our shields will be up again. And then you also mentioned that their master geopolymers were inferior because they were always getting destroyed. I don't really understand inferior compared to what. Certainly they're not inferior to our modern geopolymer products. Maybe they could be equal in the worst case, but inferior I wouldn't say. I don't know, do you mean inferior compared to those of other planets or locus, or that will be interesting to get samples from those other places, then we may compare. You're asking me why the great prophets did not predict absolute mind control. I will tell you my personal opinion that they did not predict it because it is not there. I don't think I'm absolutely mind controlled. And I have personally met many amazing people who have managed to get out of the matrix even to a larger extent than myself. I think the absolute mind control is for those who believe in it, or for those who are not even aware that they are being mind controlled. That would be the majority of the population of the planet currently, unfortunately. They have become so addicted to television and smartphones and Facebook that they have stopped making a difference between their own thoughts and those implanted in them. But this is their own choice. They have their freedom, so they prefer to live in such a situation, they are free to do it. It's another point that the different types of souls will be getting birth on earth in the future, in the very near future. I personally believe in this. Those will be the kind of souls that prefer to create their destiny in a more individual way instead of being told by the mass media how to live. And as such individuals become the majority of the population on the planet, then humanity will finally live in freedom. As far as the destructive operations, I think they are very well predicted in the numerous prophecies. Just look at the predictions of the ones I've listed in the episode you mentioned. We definitely see a lot of destructive operations. And as far as escaping the evil poured upon them, I'm not sure they see it in that light at all. Most of them explicitly talk about how we personally create our own reality and nothing can be imposed upon us by force. And all these so-called bad events that seemingly are beyond our control are nothing else but external manifestation of internal misconceptions that we need to correct. The prophets did not incarnate on earth because they were running, hiding from some sort of evil. None of them has reported anything like this. The way I see it, and their words speak about it, is that they came for the reason of to tell us, to give us details of how we can exercise our own free will to get out of these silly situations that we're in. And this is not very easy. This will require lots of learning. For example, history, we start from history. How did our human body appear on this planet? How does it interact with the energies around? What are the technicalities with which we shape the events around us? People simply don't understand these things. Will humanity ever know its true history? I personally believe absolutely yes, and maximum within the next few hundred years. As Peter said in the recently published interview, these bans on accessing such information on astral level are getting lifted. Many more people will be coming back with more genuine historic information. There will be no way, absolutely no way, for the real human history to remain hidden for a long time. We are still very far away. We are just getting glimpses and very small fragments from here and there. But as such accounts get more and more information, will get compared, verified, and eventually we will have a full systematic history. Revealing the true history is not a matter of advancement of science or of some discoveries being made. No, it is not even a matter of research. It is interconnected. It is an intrinsic part of us transiting to practically a new human race, a benevolent one, a one that values its past, because it values the light of goodness that is the original nature of the human being. We are barely humans at this point. We are human parasite hybrid. That's why we are much smaller than our forefathers. We are not as good looking. We are aging much faster. We are much sicker than them. Once we return to the original higher version of a human being, then the appreciation of history will come up automatically. Thank you very much for bringing up this point. Yeah, I would like really, it is a must to have such maps on the website. Unfortunately, the person, very nice person who did the code for megaliths.org is somewhat not of sound health recently, and he couldn't complete all the details. So if somebody has knowledge of Laravel and in connection with Google Maps as well and MySQL and wants to contribute towards completing the website faster, please contact me. Thank you.